Hi, I'm Hayley Krumwiede,
Hi, I'm Kelsey Browne.
Hi, I'm Siyue.
I'm Mitch Nelson.
and we're also missing Chelsea Jenks. And we are Group 2, so here's our presentation.
Mitch Nelson. I'm a part of Group 2, and for my final project, I was a part of the heart disease prediction. And so, as you can see, our data elements, we have all of these that I'm showing you. We added in a few calculations, but mainly only used the count. And for that, here's our calculation, just so that we can count the number of prediction groups, whether they were absent or present. And then for our first table, we use just a table, and as you can see, you can scroll through it. Green indicates that the heart disease was present, blue indicates that it wasn't, and in here you can see the ID, age, sex, predicted value, prediction confidence, prediction group, prediction value, and prediction confidence again. And then for our next one, I created this, which shows the total count of patients, and then right here you have the count of present, which is 46, and it is 44.66% of the total patients. And then right here it is absent, and that is 57 counts and 55.3% of patients. Then over here I compared the male and female just to see if there's anything going on there. And as you can see, there was far more females that had absent than male, even though male had more counts. And right here is a bar chart showing that. And that is my visualization. Hi, it's Mitch again. Right now I'm going to run you through our data sets and our data flows that we create for our heart disease project. For our data sets, we did heart disease likelihood prediction and likelihood training. In the training, here is all of our attributes and measures that came along with it. And then for our likelihood prediction, here are those. Then we created two data flows with this. First is the training. As you can see here. So and then for the target, we set it for likelihood in the cart for model training. Then for the prediction, we used the previous one in applying the model, as you can see. And those are the data flows we used.
Hi, I'm Kelsey Browne, and I'm also with Group 2. So kind of going off what Mitch said, for the first visualizations, he kind of talked about the first two. So what I did, I just kind of went and did some more basic ones. I just kind of did the patient count by the gender. So you can see here there were a lot more men who were counted over the females and were tested with that. And we use the same kind of calculations that goes with all of that as well. And then the other visualization over here was by the predictive value. So as you can tell, the green ones are the ones that were the male, and then the blue ones are the ones who were female-ly tested.
Hi, I'm Siyue. This is my analysis dashboard for Project Heart Disease Prediction. I use bar chart to show the compression of prediction group among different age group by exercise-induced angina. We can see the prediction group mainly concentrated in the age group between 55 to 60, and the number of prediction group over 70 was the least. From the perspective of the whole chart, people aged 55 to 60 had the largest number of exercise-induced angina symptoms. It can be seen from the chart that in the prediction group, in each age group, fewer people had exercise-induced angina than those without exercise-induced angina. This is my second dashboard. This stacked bar chart counts the composition of different types of chest pain between male and female. On the whole, most prediction groups show the asymptomatic chest pain. In addition, the other three types of chest pain show the angina was more common in males than females.
Hi, I'm Hayley Krumwiede, and today I'm going to be showing you my visualizations also. So I focused mainly on the other project, which was the bike rental predictions. And after cleaning the data and making a couple different changes in calculations, and then actually inserting the data into a table, these are some of the visualizations I was able to come up with. So here in this first table, it shows the date, and then it actually shows the temperature, and then the air temperature, the humidity, and wind speed. So you're able to see exactly what the temperature and what your day is going to be like when you are renting a bike. And then over here, it shows the amount of people that are renting bikes during this time. So you can see in July, August, September, October, it is very high and a lot more people are out renting bikes, whereas here it drops lower. And then lastly, here, this is a representation of like the type of season it is, and then when people are renting bikes again. So here you can see that in fall, when the weather's clear, this is a very high time. Here also is fall. But then during the summer, when it's clear, that doesn't show as many people are, which is surprising. So then as you come all the way over here, you can see when there is light rain, there's not a lot of people out. But during like the clear weathers, it's more often that people are renting bikes. And one of the most surprising things that we did find out is that during the fall is when it's the highest season that people are renting bikes.
Hi, I'm Jenks. I was working on the data set for bike rental predictions with Hayley, and I was exploring the data, created this dashboard. I started with a tree map visualization looking at the prediction of bike rental demand by working day as well as the season. Obviously, the working days represented most of the data set and most of the demand, and the non-working days not so much. It looks like right here, I just split it by working day by itself so you can get a better representation of how much of the demand was made up by work days, which is about 75%, and then 25% on non-working days. The size of the boxes here represent the amount of bikes being rented, and it looks like there's mostly in the fall and the winter, which was pretty surprising because you think that the temperature goes down in the winter, so maybe people aren't going to be outside as much as in spring and summer. So like when I went and looked back at the data set, it was mostly because we were limited on the data that was actually reported. We were limited from June to December, so it's not that people weren't necessarily renting bikes as much during that time. We just don't have it fully representative data set. It's just June through December of 2012. And then I did the count of the bikes just by the weather on itself. So on clear days, obviously more people wanted to rent bikes than on rainy days. I did create a couple of calculations because I didn't like the way that temperature was displaying as like a 0.65, for example, for like a 65-degree day. So what I did was I just times it by 100. And here's my calculation for temperature. Just like I said, times it by 100, so it would show up as 65. I did the same with wind speed.
Keep on going.
Okay, so I did the same for wind speed. Just times it by 100. So when the wind speed was 24 miles per hour, it would show up as that instead of 0.25. The way I was trying to make my data interactive was just splitting it out by holiday. I included both as a filter, but when you look at whether or not it's a holiday just by itself, then it changes the data just a little bit, because obviously it didn't show the holidays that were happening in the spring. And that's pretty much what I got out of the data for this.